I like how earlier in this episode, Shams, you asked Duncan to like shed a little light on his free agency. You likely know more than he does at this
Legitimately.
point. So,
I think you honestly probably do. At least from from other teams.
What's your sense right now? What's your, if you had to give your honest perspective right now, as much as you can say, what would your kind of outlook be right now to August 2nd and what's about to come for you?
Oh man, you don't know me, man, but I'm not going to give you much on this because I don't give much information. But like, I mean, it's no secret that I've loved my time in Miami, and I'd love to try to make something work with Miami. The reality is, like, I tell this to my family, like, I don't know how the next 10 plus days, 2 weeks, how it's going to play out at this point. And I've said this already on this podcast, but like, I think the biggest challenge has been detaching myself from a particular outcome, because I think once you like become obsessed with a number or amount of years or whatever it is, then like your judgment can get clouded over maybe what's best, because you become so fixated on like, oh, this is where I need to be, or this is where I need to sign for. Instead, like I just want to take all information as it comes, and when the time comes to actually evaluate and make a decision, like be meticulous and deliberate about what actually is going to be best for me. So that was a long-winded way of saying absolutely nothing. But basically that's kind of where I'm at with it.
I mean, it's the right approach. Trust me, I've been there. It's crazy. Like when I was, growing up, like watching interviews, like you'd hear players talk like, I got to take it day by day and take it one day at a time. But it's like now you're on the other side and you kind of see the ramifications and see how it goes. You literally have to. I mean, that's literally how the game is played, as boring and cliche as it might sound.
There's another way to play it though, and I obviously don't play it this way, but like there are guys that just go out and say like, I want this, and this is what I need to re-sign here. And I'm not one to judge whether that works or doesn't work. It's just more so like, for me, that's just not my lane. Like it honestly reminds me of, like, similarly to how guys will talk their way into postseason awards, like with the Defensive Player of the Year. They get on a podium after a game and start making their case for why they should be Defensive Player of the Year. Now, in many cases, those guys are already in the conversation, but sometimes that like catapults them into the conversation. And if you're not talking about it, then you kind of get lost in the shuffle. But I imagine it probably works something similar to free agency. When you start saying this is a number, this is a number, this is a number, eventually you kind of set your own market value for it, or maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, every player's got a different philosophy. I think it just depends. At the end of the day, it's going to play out. The draft is going to be very important, and I'm sure you'll have a better idea. I don't know when you're going to tape next, but I'm sure you'll have a much better sense by the next time you tape.
We'll see. Maybe we'll be in communication between now and then. If you got anything, we'll see.
Hey, I'll be ready for the scoop. Hit me up, Doug.